I'm Amanda Worsell. This is my husband, Patrick Worsell, and this is our story on living through renovations. I wanted to create a video to show you what we went through during the process, the good, the bad, and some lessons we learned along the way. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Newman in Guelph, Ontario, but I'm also a homeowner and a first-time renovator. Throughout this video, I'll discuss why we did what we did, the mortgage plan that made it all possible, the process from demolition to completion, some steps that are necessary, whether or not to use a general contractor, some issues that arose, the tradespeople and subcontractors that helped us along the way, and of course, the final reveal. The first time we viewed this house, we fell in love with it. It's on a gorgeous lot in a beautiful neighborhood. It has good structural bones and 55 years of design and history. We knew we had to have it, but we also knew it needed some serious updating. By buying an older home and renovating it, we were able to make it exactly what we wanted, and it's sometimes cheaper to renovate than to buy a previously updated home. We spoke with our mortgage broker about the Purchase Plus plan. Other lenders may call it something different, like my friends at Champion Mortgage who call it the Canadian Home Customization Plan. I've asked Doug from Champion Mortgage to answer a few questions about the plan. So Doug, what is the Canadian Home Customization Plan?
Well, Amanda, essentially the home customization plan allows Canadians to add the cost of customizations, anything from kitchens to bathrooms and roofing to even basement apartments, to their mortgage on closing, even with putting down as little as 5%. Essentially anything that adds value to the home is generally approved under the program up to a maximum of $40,000.
Okay, great. And how long do people have to finish these renovations?
90 days is the most common number. Every lender is a little bit different, but most lenders offer a 3-month span to complete the project.
Okay. Do you work with any licensed contractors?
Absolutely, we do. Part of the program and part of the behind the scenes, CMHC, Genworth, and Canada Guarantee are the insurers of the individual programs. And under their strict guidelines, they obviously need to have licensed and insured contractors that provide the service to complete the project.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we have great relationships with fantastic contractors throughout the city.
Great. So when and how do people receive the funds?
Really good question. Essentially, the funds are received after the project is done. And as you can imagine, that then gives the lender security knowing that if they're giving you money for a kitchen, that a kitchen actually goes in, is completed, and adds value to the property.
For sure. So what are the most common questions that you get about this plan?
First question we get most often is definitely, can I add appliances to the home customization plan, such as a fridge, a stove? The answer is no, unfortunately, because they can be physically and easily removed from the property. So it's not adding value in the sense that it is a fixture within the property.
Okay, good to know. So are there any other tips?
Yeah, actually, well, the first tip has to do with how do I really finance the project if I don't have money on closing? So closing date, when you get your keys and you've moved into your home. How do I finance the project if I don't have any money? I put all my money into my down payment, into my closing costs, and now my contractor wants a $15,000 or $20,000 deposit. Well, the truth is there are suppliers out there, if you're doing the job yourself, that offer 6 months no interest. There are also other contractors out there that have been approved under the program that don't require a deposit. And then there's everything in between. We've had clients put money on lines of credit. We've had clients borrow money from family for the deposit. But at the end of the project, and everything's done and it's inspected by a home inspector, they get the money back. The second tip, and probably the most important tip, is I really recommend that whoever's considering using the home customization plan aligns himself with an awesome realtor like you, Amanda, somebody that knows the program inside and out, because it really, really, truly makes a difference working with somebody who has experience with the program and understands all the different inner workings and mechanics behind the scenes to make the overall experience for you, the buyer, as smooth and as great as possible.
Great. Well, thank you. Is there how can our viewers reach you?
Very easily. Champion Mortgage. We're here in Guelph, Ontario. And we have a great website, champion.ca. You can check us out there. You can find us on Facebook, or you can simply give us a call at 1-877-341-1299.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Amanda.
The next thing we did, also before closing, was visit our municipal office and apply for a permit. My husband designed a floor plan with the house measurements. We indicated where the load-bearing wall would be, where the plumbing would be, and included the engineer's report. We told them the extent of the renovations, the approximate timeline, and the approximate cost of the renovations that required the permit. Now, every municipality will be different in what they require and how much they charge, so be sure to talk with yours before starting anything. We then created a few spreadsheets. We mapped out the timelines, the budget, the items we would require to hire people for. We interviewed roofing companies, plumbers, electricians, kitchen designers. We researched appliances, flooring, and the list goes on. Even with all this planning, things will go wrong and will get pushed back, and it could take much longer. We planned to have it done in under 2 months, and it took well over 3 months, and we're still finishing just the final touches. Depending on the extent of your renos and the time you have to work on them, it could take a lot longer, so be sure to plan for the extra time. The final thing we did before moving in was pack specific boxes of the things we would need within the first few months. I marked these with bright tape from the dollar store, so we knew to bring those ones inside. Things like clothing, personal items, and some kitchen supplies. A toaster oven, microwave, hot plate, slow cooker, and fridge were great to have in our makeshift kitchen in the laundry room. Shortly after moving in, we created our living area in the basement. This is where we spent a lot of our time, so wanted it clean and livable. Everything else stayed in the garage for the first 3 months. So this is how the main floor previously looked. And later that week, demolition. Patrick and I did a lot of the demolition ourselves. It was a lot of fun and a lot of work, but it saved us a lot of money. We made sure to wear gloves, masks, goggles, and knee pads most of the time. Partially through demolition, we had the plumber come in and shut off the water valves. You don't want to pull the sink or dishwasher out and cause a flood. We also had the electricians come in and deal with the wiring in the walls that we were tearing down. We also moved a cold air return during that time. Of course, there will be bumps along the way. Some things may cost a lot more than you anticipated. Make sure to prioritize your must-haves versus your nice-to-haves. You may have to cut back on certain things because of it. We had to cut back on putting a gas insert in the fireplace and doing a feature wall. We may do that in the future, but for now, we'll have the wood fireplace cleaned and wet inspected and enjoy some cozy wood fires next winter. The timelines may not go as planned. The drywall took a lot longer than anticipated. Our original hardwood installer had to cancel, so we had to hire someone else to come and put in the hardwood at the last moment. Little things that we thought wouldn't take as long did take that long, like taking out the thousands of nails in the subflooring, the baseboards, the door jambs, plastering holes and imperfections, sanding, then plastering again, and sanding again. All the painting, which includes additional things like painting old door jambs, painting trim and casing, painting inside the closets, and all the new doors, taking on new projects that we weren't originally planning, like creating a second closet in the master, making wainscoting, doing a cheap temporary facelift on the bathroom. It's funny how the longer you get into the project, the more things you find that need to be done. Sleeping arrangements can be difficult. Our mattress was in the master bedroom on the gold floor and then on the subfloor for a little while. But we moved to the sectional couch in the basement once the drywall and plaster started being cut into. Also, we took off all the doors to take out the old hardwood, but then we're left without an upstairs bathroom door for quite a while. You may demolish the kitchen and flooring only to find other things, like old water damage, for instance. In our case, it looked like somebody left the bedroom window open during a rainstorm one day, and a bit of the subflooring had to be replaced. Or you may find unwanted animal visitors. We were pretty lucky. The most difficult part for me throughout this whole process was sleeping on the couch for as long as we did. We should have anticipated the timelines better and brought the mattress down to the basement. It was also very difficult cooking in our laundry room. But even with all these issues, by the end of the project, you realize it's all been worth it. The day we were able to put our feet up, pour a glass of wine, and start enjoying our new home was a wonderful day. Now, for the question of whether to use a contractor to execute the project, why you may not want to use a general contractor, you may save money, you may have a say in every single little detail, you'll learn a lot throughout the project, and you'll be able to keep track of every single penny and all of the scheduling yourself. However, if you don't use a contractor, more money is blown on trial and error. The details will drive you crazy. Keeping track of the money and the scheduling can take up so much time. If you can't do minor things yourself, like some drywalling, painting, demolition, random woodworking, then hiring separate people to do all those little jobs can add up to being a lot of money and a lot of scheduling chaos. There are so many little details, and then things can be missed. Then the timelines get pushed back because you need to complete that thing before moving on, and you most likely need to, yet again, take a trip to the hardware store. More great reasons to use a contractor: they can sometimes get you deals. They usually take care of the permits and plan the inspections. You may not have to pay up front. So ask yourself, am I insanely organized? Do I have the time to research every trade and every subcontractor to find the best workmanship reviews for the best price? Do I already know good subcontractors? Is my attention to detail going to slow down the process too much? Do I have the money up front? Do I have the time? Can I take on the smaller jobs myself? We decided not to use a general contractor to execute the project. We decided to take this route because we're both really organized. My attention to detail and perfectionism would probably get in the way of a contractor. I'm a realtor, and I'm always trying to learn new things so I can pass that knowledge on to my clients. My husband's father was a woodshop teacher and taught him enough to do some of the smaller projects. I work from home sometimes, so I was able to be around for some of the subcontractors. Although in the end, it would have been really nice to save ourselves from the headache. It also would have been really nice to not have to front all the costs ahead of time. We did, however, hire great tradespeople and subcontractors to do the major jobs, like these wonderful men who did our beam, the electrical, the porcelain tile, the kitchen, the hardwood, some of the smaller jobs. These are some of the contractors and tradespeople that helped us along the way. And now what you've all been waiting for, the final reveal. This is the before and after of the floor plan and the after pics. This was the bulk of the renovations for the current space in the house. Over time we plan on doing more, but for now I think we'll spend the summer enjoying our new house. And what started this whole process? Finding that perfect home to share our life in. I'm Amanda Worsel. I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Newman in Guelph, Ontario. I found this house and we turned it into our own custom home. If you have any questions about anything in this video, if you're looking for a mortgage, looking for great tradespeople or contractors, or are looking to buy or sell, give me a call. My office number is 519-821-3600, or you can visit my website at www.withinthepicketfence.ca. Thank you for watching and have a great day.